is Paul Wallace.
I'm not familiar with him.
Wallis. He's got a site on YouTube called Fifth Kind. Like, you got the fourth kind, those different kinds. It's called Fifth Kind. And he was an Anglican priest, and he's telling the truth.
Yeah. So remember, this was a war. They used a doctrine of white supremacy as the doctrine, and white supremacy is the layout and the protocols of Zion. The Zionists are the ones behind it. The protocol's blueprint is morals and dogma.
That's why I replied.
Right. So the what to control is in the protocols. The application or the how to is in the morals and dogma. Right? So now you got to figure out how to miseducate genius people.
So they get people like Creflo and TD and all of these different ones to be under these, proliferators of this, dogma-based religion, and they pull us away from our own way of worshiping and honoring our ancestors. And
what made that work, if you go to the old AME church, the old AME church got Christian rhetoric over tribal customs and traditions. Because we used to conceal our practices, our tribal customs in the church. And this is why you got only black churches shout. They don't do that shit in no white church. Why? That's our tribal customs.
So that was like the war dances and the rain dances.
That's the tradition of the voodoo. That's where it comes from. It's a mitochondrial activation.
It's probably like, no, you said they don't do that in the quote unquote white churches, but I've seen a lot trying, but they look stupid. They really look most of the time really stupid. They look like zombies. So it's not in their DNA, in their mitochondrial DNA. They just copying what they see because they, it's supposed to be the Pentecostal, spirit is,
Well, some of them literally look like us with pale skin. But then you got the other ones look all robotic and shit. They ain't got enough for that drop of blood yet. So the trade-off for the friendly face, pale faces, pulling the secrets out like Aleister Crowley did and putting them out in the open. This is what they doing behind your back. I'm going to reenact it so that y'all can see what they doing and watch their reaction to me so you'll know which ones is in control. Same with Helena Blavatsky.
Oh, Madame Blavatsky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, she was on the spirit rapping team, the channeling the ancestors, using the daughters from the land as her spirit drivers. She was able, as a madam, which is a elder woman that have trainee priestesses under her, before they turned it into a brothel.
Oh, wow.
They turned it into a brothel as part of the patriarchal rape campaign. The women wasn't safe nowhere. Right? So they reenact this shit all out in the open, making a obscene ass of himself, as Crowley doing. But he telling you every single thing in his works that they doing behind our backs. What Noble Drew Ali say? Putting it out in the public domain. Going into secret societies and putting it in the public domain. He wasn't by himself. These are people that was in the contemporary time with him. You think they wasn't familiar with the works of Noble Drew Ali? He was a known healer in New York. An herbalist.
Herbalist, yes.
Right? So a lot of them learned a lot of shit going to visit the herbalist in New York. They call him the Mad Hatter, a Manhattan Indian.
And is that why there were so many that came and had the temples? They didn't look like us, but they
Right, because they was blocking us out of every institution, and anybody that set one up, they murder them and then burn the institution down, literally. So we had no way to do banking. We had no way to set up educational systems, right? All this is replayed as the civil rights movement. But they already did the civil rights movement 100 years before that. So what they doing it again for? Reenacting the cycles. So that you can see what's going on. If you know the culture of the old tribes, you will see what they're telling you in the public by showing the public mockery. Right? So when we became successful in having, right? I know that it was feathers versus fairs, L's versus bays. That mean they all got to assume the identity of Moorish.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we separate them? Righteous Moors, dirty Moors. Boom, there it is right there. How do you tell them apart? Those who move in righteousness and try to teach you the metaphysics in the tribal link back to the land, righteous Moors. Them the bays that took over the L's. It's not personal. It's just redemption process.
Family business.
It's family business.
Thanks.
Not personal.
Well. So on the Black Nobility, that brings me back. Okay. So I don't know if you've seen the new Kendrick Lamar music video, but I remember you talking about how the JDL would call the artists up, right? Like they was doing Biggie. Okay, if you watch the video, he's like dancing and rapping, but every time the phone rings, he'll stop and like stare at it. And it does it like 2 or 3 times in the video. I recommend you watching it, but like the whole time the cord is unplugged and it's calling him. And I remember you and Myra talking about the 3 Ks, Kanye, Kyrie, and Kendrick. So kind of make that
That's
connection.
11-11-11, which is 33 in the third, which is a master flip off of a master's knot.
Uh-huh.
It's 33 parallel. It's Mount Hermon. Scale the mountain. Playing King of the Hill. Who's the GOAT? Greatest of all time. So you take over the GOAT, greatest of all time, then you become King of the Hill. King of the Hill call the shots. The hill just so happened to be a pyramid, and the pyramid is just the structure of the family. Cream rise to the top, right? Sugar sink to the bottom. So I'm stirring up the family tree. Are you going to be an asset to the family tree, or are you going to be a liability? It's your choice. You know, are you going to learn how to be a leader, or are you going to try to be a dictator? Right? What's the difference? Dictator tell people what to do. A leader show them how to get shit done.
Thanks.
All right, I'm about to take another caller up.
All right, appreciate you, Chief. Keep up the
All
good
right,
work.
good looking. Appreciate you calling.
All right, man.
All right, bro. Get them niggas right.
Where you chiming in from?
Man, listen, I'm originally born and raised from Cleveland, Ohio. I gotta rep that first most.
Ohio in the house to Cleveland.
Right.
That's a knockback receipt.
What was that?
That's a knockback receipt. I was talking about Cleveland, Ohio earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I was collecting some receipts. From somebody, and then they brought up Cleveland, Ohio. And Ohio is the Buckeye, and the Buckeye is the bullseye.
Right, right.
Keep your eye on the ball.
All the activity in Ohio.
It's a hat trick off a top hat, which is a trick shot in basketball. Right?
The court of life, for real.
You did?
Yeah. But see, I'm in Milledgeville, Georgia right now. I hate to put my city out there, but hey, that's where I'm at. It is what it is. I'm covered.
That's what
I'm
that's
fine.
what Malachi used to have his little community used to be not too far from there. Matter
Right,
of
right.
fact, that's who he was beefing with, the Milledgeville sheriff.
Yo, straight up out of them damn movies with the Southern cops, man. Got air for brains. But you know what? The guy I met down here, you know, I was originally up in the city, you know, I came down here for like on some bigger goals, you know. I kind of got shifted in an unexpected way because I just suddenly left where I was at in Cleveland and then just came here. Like, I
Called it
just
a
bought up in
matriarch.
1 week and I left the next week.
It's called a matriarch. You have to go where you're supposed to be at the close of the age in order to get what you're supposed to get when Big Mom get home.
Yeah, and that's what it's been feeling like. That's what's been on my spirit, heavy.
Yeah, so if let's say that your original first birth on Earth, where you at right now, you was a princess there. And that's where your inheritance come through. So now you got to move in this lifetime back to where you supposed to be for Big Mama to find you. You in your rightful position, and then she can give you what's yours.
The way you just read me like an oracle, it's oh my goodness. You know, I don't be wanting to say like I be having these thoughts, like more like so heavy, like meditating. One time I was meditating, like, you know, I got this whole chart of people, you know what I'm saying? And it lined up to about 7, 8 things, right? I remember it was like blood of Osiris, seed of Osar or how's his name? Osiris' son.
Heru.
So blood of Osiris, seed of Heru. Then it was like throne of Set, crown of Heru. And then so I lined it up from like how, you know, ancestry chart go, like it's just in my mind. And then how it looked afterwards, it was like Osiris, Set, Heru, Heru, right? But so it was lining like a lineage of my bloodlines, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, okay, so
that means that you from the first family of Tahuti from the land, because you reading your genetic memory that's from years of being taught how to find our lineage, how to map the family out, and how to find the hierarchy. So then when we start recognizing the character traits that's in the pantheon, we start matching them to the people in the family that represent that energy in the family, and this is how you put the tree back in its position.
Wow. Yeah, I've been doing heavy work on my family tree. And you know what? It was also a guardian in there, you know. It was by Set and Sekhmet. And you know, I've been using Sekhmet. I can think about Sekhmet and think about a force field and Sekhmet just using that protective energy. I'd be like, get him. I just, you know what I'm saying? And I swear, whatever it is, like, the problem be fixed, solved. Like, I really feel protected. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
it's been so much crazy
so
stuff.
that's when you see Sekhmet and Bastet together, they tell you that you high priestess on the cat clan, the felines. The felines is the female line, meaning the mother line.
Wow, this is like, oh my God.
So, right. So it's showing you your birthright. It's showing you how to unlock your birthright.
Damn. You know, my nickname Kitty, you know what I'm saying? I rap and I just was sitting down one day, right? I was like, man, you know, I'll be on that Feisty Brown, on the Black Madonna, you know, kind of tip. So I was like, Black Madonna, something like Cat Madonna. So I went with Cat Madonna. Like, that energy was just hitting me. Like, it was crazy. Like, how you just make sense. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Because of the Cat clan, your mom's Don, and Don is an interim, a prince, or a princess.
Wow.
But you're using the mafia structure. This is the outlaw line.
Why outlaw? Because I feel very much so like an outlaw. That's me.
The outlaw line is the children that you ain't supposed to know daddy had over there.
Oh, wow.
But they still get their birthrights because they still from the royal blood. That's how you able to track the family tree. And that's why when you track it through the two female Sekhmet and Bastet together, there's the Sekhmet is the guardian for the next in line to be queen, which would be represented by Tefnut.
Wow.
So Tefnut is next in line.
Let me hold on. I write this down. I got to.
You know,
I was rolling up. Oh, I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Just look at the hierarchy on the pyramid. It's going to show you how it works.
Let me show you something. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's the don't see, don't hear, don't speak evil. But I got the gorilla. I thought that was tough. But I got this before I even got put on to you. So I don't know. I'm definitely feeling that energy.
Yeah. So you see covering in his mouth, right? Speak no evil, right?
Right. That's what I'm big on.
Right. So you speak life into a person by telling them how to map their genome by what they seeing in their visions.
Okay.
Right. So it's a secret being revealed in the open. You in the process of unraveling something. I'm just giving you keys to trigger your energy to see certain things.
Okay.
So when it say you come in off the feline, the female line, that's the mother line. But you coming off the mother line, off the Blue Lodge, out the outlaw camp.
Okay, outlaw. Okay, camp. All right.
This is the tribal structures. So in the village setups, when we set the villages up, we always had what's called outpost villages.
Okay.
And the chief normally had a household in each village. And that's why he was called a traveling man, because he was always traversing the land to go check on his different families.
Wow. Do you know that lines up so well with what happens in my family? I like to say my grandpa was a Rolling Stone, but I mean, I guess it's disrespectful in the sense
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
My grandpa was a G.
Right. The Rolling Stone is the displaced royalty rolling through the community as if they everybody else.
Wow.
The sleeping guys waking up to who they is. Then all they got to do is be they self, and then that's how Big Mama finds you. And she give you messages like that so that you'll know where to be when it's the time. You don't know, wake up, yep, I'm going down here. Boom, here I go, ta-da. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to be at, but I'm here. And then everything just fall into place. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I've had some very serious stuff happen since I moved here, you know. I moved here in 2018. 2019, my grandma died. I was very close to her. You know, 2020, my mother died. You know, she was in and out of a mental ward my whole life because she was schizophrenic, like to a severe point. But my mom was very intelligent, intellectual, you know. So I don't know what happened, but I know my mom is special, though. Yeah.
So she's probably a Hyoka priestess. That's what they normally do, call us schizophrenic and dope us up.
Yes.
Because we
How
able
do you spell Hyoka?
Heyokaya.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, them the ones that used to be around the fire talking about, hey, yeah, doing the war dances.
My mom, she looks like that Polynesian type. She has that feel about her. I can, you know, yeah, I feel like
you could have it in the blood because the tribe sent warriors from all parts of the land when we was fighting the Gullah Wars. That's how the Haitian Conjure got wound up in the Gullah Wars.
Okay.
Because soon as they won independence, they decided to aid and assist the Gullahs in defeating the Spaniard Armada in Florida.
Okay. My grandma, go ahead.
So once they realized that the last thing left, Haiti turned it around down there and turned around for everybody. But the Polynesians sent warriors. They had Polynesian communities in Florida and California from coming over here to fight in the Gullah Wars.
From California, they came and had the station. I remember you talked about that. I remember that.
Yeah. And remember, a lot of princes brought teams from Hawaii. Right? They rode across literally on boats to the mainland and then they traveled by foot across the land to get to the Gullah Wars. So a lot of us got a lot of the blood from the Hawaiian royal families mixed with us too.